everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I am barefaced, which means I'm going to be testing something. Now I am going to be testing this Revlon stick foundation. Now I feel like stick foundations are going around at the moment. Anastasia have got one, Hourglass have got one. A lot of brands have got stick foundations, especially the high-end brands. So I decided, and I've got a hair in my eyelash. So I have decided to test out this Revlon stick foundation because I've never tried a stick foundation ever, and not really from Boots, like the drugstore. But since Revlon brought out stick foundation, I just thought to test this out. So if you would like to see me testing out the Revlon Insta Fix Photo Ready Foundation Stick, then carry on watching. So, I know it's not really reviewing the packaging, but I really like the packaging. It's black, it's sleek, and then it says Revlon Photo Ready Insta Fix. So this is in the shade 110 Ivory, and this is a palest shade. It is really creamy, which I didn't expect, and I feel like this might either go really good or really bad. I'm a little bit scared. So I'm just going to go straight in and whack it on my face. Now this is the lightest shade, so I'm really hoping this works because I find it so hard to find foundations that work for my skin tone because I'm really pass for the ghost kind of thing. So I've decided to use a beauty blender because I feel like beauty blender, you can't go wrong. Oh. It's like blended into nothing on my chin. Oh, okay. I've blended it in on my chin, but it's not even there anymore. Wow, this is light coverage, I think. Okay, so first impressions is it's not really gave me hardly any coverage, which isn't something I like. I like a lot of coverage and stuff like that. So yeah, it hasn't given me a lot of coverage so far, which I'm a little bit gutted about. But I feel like for people who love not a lot of coverage, I think this would be really good. If I'm totally honest, it blends into nothing, which it isn't the best. You can't really tell I've got it on my skin. It's not really covered anything. Who remembers my pom-poms? Guess who's back again with the pom-poms. Guess who's back? Right, I've just whipped on some pom-poms because my hair was doing my head in when I was blending in my foundation, and yeah. So I'm now going to add a bit more because I feel like it did absolutely nothing, and I feel like it is my skin colour. Oh, it's so hot today. I've had to open the window. So if you can hear noises, that's why. But England is literally having a heat wave and it's vile. I can't. The one fact you don't know about me, I hate summer. I hate the heat. I love winter. I can't stand the summer. Okay, so I'm going to add a few more swipes. So I'm going to go all out with this. I feel like this really is creamy, and when you put it on your skin it's not hard to apply. It is really creamy, which is a really good thing. It's creamy. So this is almost like I've put double the amount I did first time, and right, this is working. Right, okay. So first of all, it is blending out, which I was a bit scared that it was just going to do the exact same as it did in the previous clip, where it just almost blended into nothing and dissolved, and there was nothing, no coverage, nothing there. But I feel like now I've added a bit more, it's working with my skin. It's blending in. I don't know. I have added a lot of the foundation on my skin. To get the coverage, you will not get it by a few swipes like I did before. This is more of a foundation coverage, but I have read comments and stuff like that saying that it's more of a light coverage, which I didn't read. And I wouldn't have really got it if I knew it was light coverage, but this is almost like a test to see if I can build it up to a medium coverage, which at the moment it's doing alright. I've kind of added enough product to try and make it work as a medium coverage. I'd say light to medium. But the product is creamy. When you apply, it is really nice. I thought it was going to be very, very dry, and it's not. So my first impressions of this is that you have to put like a decent amount of product on your skin, otherwise it will not give you coverage. And I mean, not like a little bit of coverage, it gives you none. It blended into my skin first time around into nothing, like there was no product on my skin. Looked like I've just blended water into my skin. It just made no difference. Water. Don't know where that came from. It didn't make any difference. So then obviously I went back in with a lot more product and really went in and kind of covered my whole skin. But I didn't. I had to go in and almost cover my whole face, like paint it on with the stick and then blend it out to give me the coverage, at least a good amount of coverage, which is good if you like light coverage products and foundations. I feel like this is great for you, but I like my foundations to be really high coverage, and on my nose I feel like it's really shown up, which I'm really gutted about, because on my nose it looks really, really dry. It looks really textured, which I did mention in my beauty blender video that my nose is one of those places that that sums up a product if it's bad or good. My nose is an area that goes all patchy, it goes red, it goes very dry and very textured, and I don't really like my nose with certain products and certain brushes. But again, this is why I always try and stick to products I know, or concealer, because on my nose, as you can see, there's slight dry patches. It's gone slightly patchy. It's also made my nose show up the red bumps on my nose. I've got very, very slight little spots on my nose, very, very slight, tiny spots, but they're showing up, which don't normally do. So in this area here, it is almost clogged up almost, and it's gone up a little bit patchy and cakey. Again, patchy on my nose. It's a really good foundation. I just find that it's not what I thought it was going to be. The colour is actually a really good colour. I was terrified that I thought this was going to be way too dark for me, but I feel like I would have to go back in and add more coverage to these areas here. I'm probably just going to have to really build this product up so I get the coverage. And also, I don't know how this is going to last. This could last really well and last all day, or it could melt off my face, which I really hope it doesn't, because it is sunny at the moment, which means your foundation is going to melt off, it's going to cake up more. But I definitely have mixed reviews on this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some of my normal concealer and see how that works with the foundation, see if it cakes up or anything like that. So for my concealer, I'm going to use my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. So that has gone actually really well over the top of my eye, which is really good. So I'm going to add some on my nose, as that is the area where I really need it. And I'm also just going to add concealer onto my head. See, I feel like with concealer on my forehead, it makes my forehead look not cakey one bit. It makes my skin look really dewy and healthy. But with the foundation on, it really settled into my fine lines straight away. So I'm just going to powder my forehead, as I have obviously lines on my forehead, and as soon as I put the stick foundation on, it settled in straight away. And now I've had to put a bit of concealer on because I don't like how my foundation looks without a good coverage forehead almost. I like my forehead to be full coverage, which isn't what the stick foundation gives me, unfortunately, which I really wish it did. But then if you put a lot on, I feel like it would go quite cakey. I don't know. It's like one of those situations. I wouldn't ever review something on my channel or do a first impressions of something if it's not my like full-on truth. And I would only tell the truth of this product. It's working quite well with powder. With my skin type and stuff like that, I feel like this foundation does not work at all. It makes my skin really dry, really patchy, quite cakey, doesn't give me enough coverage. When I used a tiny bit, like I used a good decent amount on my chin, I blended it and it blended into nothing. It looked like I had no foundation on, like there wasn't enough coverage. And I feel like it's really good if you don't like foundation, you like that lighter coverage, or you're just starting getting into makeup but you don't want to put like a lot of high coverage on your skin if you are like if you are young and stuff like that. Not like I'm old, but I'm saying if you are a lot younger than me, I feel like this foundation would be quite good if you're just starting out in makeup but you don't want to put a lot of foundation on, cake yourself in it. I feel like this would be quite good as like the first foundation, as it doesn't, like you have to really build this up to get it to a high coverage. So if you are just starting out in makeup or something like that, I think this is really good because you can't go overload on it. I've only gone overload with the concealer, which is what I needed, but I'm gutted it didn't react well with my skin. However, I'm still going to use it. I'm still going to use it in with my concealer, and now with the summer coming up, I feel like if I'm just want something for a no makeup day, I feel like this is a really good foundation to use. It is really creamy to put on, which is amazing. I feel really bad because I'm so negative, but I didn't want to review something that I'm not going to tell the truth with. And yeah, that is basically my review on the Revlon Photo Ready Instafix. So that is the end of my testing Revlon Instafix stick foundation. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't already, and definitely click the bell button as that notify you every time I upload. And I will see you on Sunday. Bye. This foundation